What's going on, everybody? Cyber here. It's been a couple months since I recorded the first two episodes of this series, although I did just release the last one a few days ago. But I didn't really have space in my schedule to keep it going, and I got sick, and I had a bunch of mastering clients over the holidays, so it didn't make sense for me to release the videos then. But if you are interested in dub-based presets, I did just release a pack of 30 dub basses, and you can get that on my website, psybursonic.com. There'll be a link in the description. We might try switching out the bass in this project for one of those basses at some point, but this is working for now. So let's just keep it going. I have some ideas about what we might do next. And let's see, I made some notes here of things. So I did change, once I got this with fresh ears on speakers, I decided that I had a little too much high end, a little too much tap here in the 4,000 area, and just like a little too much in the mid range. So I just like kind of darkened the kick up a bit. I think it's sounding not bad now. Just EQ moves. And then I renamed the pads in Drum Machine Designer here. And I think what I might do is bounce all these out individually for you all in case you want to just like make your own drum rack with them, because some of them are pretty cool. All right. So what was I going to do next? We had made this trumpet. We had thought about getting it going, working from left to right with an intro. I have some more ideas for the intro, but what I might like to try is, like I said in the first episode, I start with dub and then I psy it up, and I might even like remove some dub to make space for more psy stuff. But I like the dub foundation, and almost every psy track or dub track I have, I use the 303 a lot, and we could maybe talk about how to make one of these from scratch in another synth. But I do love using Phoscyon. It's one of my favorite acid plugins for 303. It's just got a really cool sound. So there are a number of ways. Sometimes I write 303 lines from scratch, but I thought I like to have like a continuous kind of 303 line that's sort of based off what you might find. Like the way these lines are written, these sequences are sort of grid based. I like to go in by hand and edit them, but as a starting point, it can be fun to move through some of these presets here. And let's see, we might have to transpose it, but let's just see what happens if we play this. Alright, so let's say that we're going to drag this MIDI file into our project here. And I know a lot of those notes were not really what we're looking for, but so this is F. Alright, that's actually pretty cool. You know, for tone, we'll work on the tone later, but for the accent, the glide time, sometimes I mess with the resonance. Can you really ever get enough resonance on a 303? We might play with automating this a little bit, and in terms of like what else we have going on in our mix when we actually use the 303 line. That's close. I'm not sure that that line's perfect yet. We need to make this work around that 4 chord. So our 4 chord in F is B flat, D flat, B flat, D flat, F. So B flat, we could use this to hit the D flat maybe. And the F is there, but let's hit the D flat again. And that's okay because it's really just a slide down. That works. That. Yep, here we go. Okay, so and now we're on to the C minor. So we want to have this change on the root. That kind of works, but I think we want maybe an E flat in there. Let's see here. No, not right there. C, E flat. Let's just double check here. We've got C minor, that's what I thought. C, G, E flat. So C, G. No, see that, so it doesn't sound right. G. And then we could do E flat. Okay, let's hear it all together. Not a bad pattern. Yeah, and it retains that kind of like classic 303 style of pattern because we like really stuck to the grid. Now I love that, but I wonder if maybe I should do a variation for this next bit here. And one thing we might do for just making a more interesting variation is like kick some of the notes around an octave. Let's see here. So we could do this slide the other way. Subtle, but it's gonna make a difference here. And then let's kick that up. No, that's wrong. Okay, we're getting there. Just a few more little things. Let's hear them both together. So the other thing we might change up a little bit here is the accents, and basically there's only two velocity levels in this, you know, if you want an accent or you don't want an accent. So let's keep all the first accents, but then like let's make that one an accent. Let's take an accent off that one. Let's try this. See if we can't get something that still feels okay if we switch up the accents. See, like this is a little too predictable there. Let's put that here. I don't love that one, so anyway. So let's just do this. Let's accent some of the... That's slide sliding to an accent. I don't know if it'll work. It doesn't accent anyway, but that's kind of cool actually on the downbeat for those ones. Yeah, let's do 3 downbeat accents in a row, and then this last one up. All right, here we go. All right, and we may or may not want, this already has some reverb on here, but I'm going to take it off and we'll just make it really dry for a second. Now this is, if you notice, with our bass, they're clashing a little bit, like, here, let's pull this up so you can see. It makes it a little hard to hear the bass when this is going. I guess it is a bit higher there. So what we might do is give this a little bit of width with just a touch of, like, big fan of Haas, and we can use the kilohertz Haas, but you can just use a sample delay if you don't have this one. Now, whether or not we want this Haas has to do with how much else we're trying to fit in our mix. You know, like if we were just keeping it as is and letting the 303 shine and be the star of the show here, which we might indeed do, in that case, I probably wouldn't Haas. But if I'm trying to have some other lead work, then I might do it. The other option, instead of doing Haas like this, is maybe, you know, using like multipass instead. And like, we could just Haas below 500 hertz. That does kind of keep the bass a little clearer, and I'm not sure, you know, one other thing, of course, is that we can just filter out the low end here, because we don't need quite as much of the low lows. And we could control the dynamics a little bit in these low mids. I don't want to lose the bite of the accents. Like, you could just turn the accents down a little bit here, but I kind of like keeping that, and just like, this is a gentle 2-to-1 ratio, and we can just have it just be a little more controlled. and I like this kind of wide. I switch this. My default is dual mono, and the reason I do that is because when I'm using this for controlling things that are like a little wider, then I like having the compression act on the left and right separately to sort of enhance the stereo image. Whereas if I had this in stereo, it would act, equally. If something on the left happened, it would compress the right as well, and I don't want that here. I want it to stay a little bit wide, especially since I've already I suppose it would make a difference if I put it before multipass, but in general, I like to widen up my 303s a little bit. I might even combine that Haas with like a touch of wider just to get it. I'll just type it in. Where is it? Wider. Let's try it. Kind of like overdoing width stuff is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. So like, let's just keep it right there for now. And we're going to call this Phoscyon. And we haven't even done our delay yet. So let's go ahead and grab color copy. And what we're looking for, if there's space in the mix for it, is a little bit brighter and low mix and not very many regens. Maybe even a little fast ducking. Now, I like the eighth note better. I like this delay a lot. You could use any kind of delay that you want to get a ping pong delay going. One thing to note on this one is that it's a significant amount of noise on the vintage if you end up with this all over your project. So I made my default to be low noise floor. I've had situations where, especially if your project ends up kind of quiet and you have a bunch of these, then you go to like master it or bring it up to a level and you're like, where's all this noise coming from? Well, you had a bunch of these on there and it's got a noise floor. So be careful with that if you end up using this plugin. All right. So I think oh yeah, I remember. What was this? Oh yeah, I was messing around with pigments. So hot right now. Love pigments. So what did I do? Oh yeah. Okay, so next up, I got if you've never been to, what is it? freesound.org, is that what it is? Let me just double check. Yeah, freesound.org. I went and found this jungle sample. And I'm going to drag it in to my project. And we can keep working on this intro, but a lot of kind of Psydub stuff starts with like a little bit of ambiance. So let's just drag this in. You know what? Actually, instead of dragging it in straight up, let's try bringing it. Let's bring it into phase plant. And let's load it up as granular. Beautiful. Actually kind of like C4. That's probably the natural sample. I like it lower too, but let's reverse a little bit of it. Give it a little pitch variation. Let's give it a little level variation and a lot of pan variation. Have it ease in like that. And let's put it in a space. I mean, this is a candidate, like, we should grab something like Black Hole, maybe. I think that's the one. See what happens. Is this no MIDI version? The high end of this is a little much, huh? Maybe we should give ourselves a filter here. There's that one. Let's just grab an EQ. Could really pull up some of the. What if we grabbed like fuse compressor? I mean, oh, the other thing to consider is like we're in F right now, and what note is this? Pitch. That's a C. So I wonder if maybe we want to try. Doesn't quite sound as good, does it? I mean, C will work. We're in the key of F. That's the fifth, so that'll probably work. I don't know why I do this with Fuser. We can do the same sort of thing right here in multipass, like with that like three band dynamic squeeze. Pull up some of the low level stuff there. Perfect. Is that too over the top? It is. It's too much. Let's mix it back. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so we're going to call this Jungle. Let's call it Jungle. And let's create a MIDI region, and we're gonna drag out some jungle ambiance, and we'll see how much we need here, but. I don't know that I'm quite ready for these yet. We shall see. But what we do, let's just move these over here. And then one thing I thought that could be good is to, let's just bounce this pad out. And then do a similar kind of thing, like grab a new audio software instrument, phase plant, and we'll just drag this pad in as a granular engine and phase plant, and then we don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and give myself some on-offs. And let's just get this out of the way in case we want it later. And we're going to call this pad granular. All right, so now we're going to foreshadow the pad coming by making another pad from that pad. I want it to come in slower and be a little longer of a clip. Let's go ahead and change this to F so that I can play an F and have it be in key. And then let's crank up the level a little bit. And let's trim up this sample so it's not quite so long. And okay, and then let's maybe a shimmer could be cool with this sound, huh? Help us with our intro here. I don't want too much of the high end in this actual pad because I want to let the kind of shimmer reverb take over the high end. Alrighty, so let's say we start building this in here, and let's mess around and see if we can't come up with something that sort of sets the vibe. Oops. It's not what we're looking to do. Not quite yet. We will get there. Here it is. Sorry, here we go. Let's have this ease in a little bit more than that, yeah? Patience. It's pretty loud, actually. And that was really quiet, huh? How did this happen? You know what? Let's just give ourselves more jungle ambiance to work with and then bounce it to audio because I'm a little... let's go right to here. I'm a little sick of having to start from the beginning while we're working on this intro. Alright, it doesn't look like anything. What's going on here? Is it just kind of quiet? Yeah, and there's no bass. It's there. Okay. We'll do that for now. And turn that off. Alright, I think we want this to kind of come in slower too. And be a little longer. So let's go ahead and have it come in over like 5 seconds. Getting there. We want to tease, I think, this percussion a little bit. So what if we just tease with that and we were to let's mute all this other stuff for a minute. Where is this perk? It's a little ticky. I mean, that's kind of the point of this, but I feel like the transient is just a little much. So I wonder about just clipping it a tiny bit. All right, let's take a look at it, guys. What I want to do is just like round off the transient a little bit so that it's not, so that it doesn't get annoying. But we can see it here if we just solo this. And just like, I'll show you what I'm doing here. Okay, and now let's zoom in a little bit more. It's kind of hard to see. It's probably zoomed in too much. And I'm just taking off a little bit of the spike there. I mean, it's clipping 5. That's pretty smooth, actually. I kind of like the tube. There is a free version of K-Clip called K-Clip 0, and you don't get the multiband, which I never use on this, and you don't have this extra threshold thing, but it just has this and this, and it's the smooth mode, I do believe, and it is free. And so if you're looking for a good free clipper, use that one. All right, so I actually think it could be cool to have this in audio and play with a delay as we get into the pattern. So let's just bounce this and call this Tinker Hat. And then we are working with audio, so we can mute this. Let's go ahead and grab cluster delay, yeah. Where'd you get those coconuts? It's kind of a Monty Python rhythm here. A little too fast for that. No. But maybe yes, if we did. Less feedback. Too many of them. All right, we're gonna bounce this again. That'll do it. But I want to do. Let's bounce this out, and then. Let's just reverse. It's kind of cool. And then, so we don't need that anymore. And then let's grab another cluster delay. And then turn it to send mode, whatever you call it. And then if we automate this input and just grab this last hit. All right. And then let's do that again. But I mean here. Yeah, we might not want that there either. I kind of like this cool little rhythm. Let's see here. And then what if we took this first one and we started it? I kind of sometimes think it's cool to bring stuff in pairs. So we have like these two kind of coming in, and then we have the hats, and we could start bringing this in. All right. But we don't want to bring it in full blast, and we don't want to. We don't want the cutoff to be quite so high when we come in. So let's just see here. Oh, you know what? Let's keep it on the 1 for the intro, huh? And actually, I think it could be really cool to have the 303 stay on the 1 chord, bring in these chords, maybe kick them down an octave, and then when it hits the drop, the 303 then follows the chord changes. You feel me? Does that make sense? But like, let's say we wanted to have these chords come in and be down an octave. We could just grab scalar here. And, you know, actually even easier than that, let's just go ahead and grab a transposer and just transpose the MIDI down 12. Here we go. So now we got... The high end of this jungle thing's starting to get to me. It's probably a little loud up top still. What would this sound like down an octave? Hold on. Let's for the one that's down an octave in the intro here, we might want to And then we have this wub, which has a nice feel to it. It's a little too wet maybe now. Maybe, what would it sound like higher? Oops, don't want that. I kind of like it. What would it sound like reversed? Whoa, that's actually pretty sick. And then, but then it goes, do I want it to go quite so dry there, or do we want it to maybe like a short delay that's ping pong could be cool on that. Scatter it. What if it was up an octave though? So like if we took it over here and then we just grabbed a snap heap and we made that. We just grabbed a pitch shifter and we cranked it up an octave. So let's see what that sounds like. Oh, that's not working. Maybe we need to make this 100% wet now. See if that does it. Oh, forgot to turn up the send. That'll do it. You know, it needs a different EQ. Cool. Well, yeah, let's just leave it. What if we diffused it instead of wobbled it a little bit? All right, let's see how it sounds in the scheme of things. I mean, kind of cool. It kind of fights with the 303 a little bit. So I wonder if we crystallize this a little bit with the mix like all the way up. Actually, let's go ahead and grab like one of these pitched up. So we're pitching it and then we're pitching it again. We might not need to pitch it if we just crystallize it first, because that's already going to pitch it up. So let's see what happens here if we do it this way. That's actually pretty sick. So let's just hear it on its own and tweak this. That's cool, but it feels a little dry. So let's just like, let's just throw a ROM on it. That's cool. It's gonna bleed in and build up a little bit with the jungle, but I think that's okay. And then we let's just get this back to volume. How did I lose my volume here? Sorry guys. There it is. All right. This needs more release. Whew, we're gonna hit the drop, guys. Let's see here. There's more things that we might do here, but this is like a good start. I think we can make it better though. I don't want to do this whole thing again. So what if we ended on the 5? And then would it be weird if I don't want it to go? It'd be starting in the middle of a bar there. It could be. I think that might be a little too much. So let's just, if we add the bar, that might be good. That gives us a little more. Yes, but it doesn't have the impact I really want just yet. We want. No. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. Okay guys, I reloaded it. We need to make this drop actually good and have some impact. So obviously first we need a crash here, but we also need some more like tails. So one thing we could do is grab the same tail from here and put it right there with this should still have the delay. Yep, it does. So let's go ahead and do this. So that'll give us, but we might want to automate the feedback up a bit more. Cluster delay feedback. Okay. And what happens if we just crank that shit? Yes, that's pretty good. We're probably going to bounce this all to audio and then zip it right there so it makes sure that it goes. But we also want some more tails than just this. I want that 5 chord to hang. So what would be good here? We could automate up our reverb a little bit. So let's like go ahead and turn our mix up a little bit. And we could even crank the size here. I don't know if this will pitch shift, but I don't know. That could sound cool. Let's see. If I... Yeah, let's go. Let's crank the size like way up. And let's crank the decay. Now this, we'll see if we get any pitch shifting. If it does, that might be a problem. And then, so that's okay. Now what are we gonna do with this? It's already starting to get a big chain here, but let's you know, sometimes just grabbing like a Portal preset to get something cool. Can work really good for transitions. We really just want Something a little wild and crazy. That's sort of what we're looking for. Okay, let's see what happens if we take the mix of Portal and it's not even there, and then we just like crank the mix up here and we crank up the regens here so that there's more for Portal to work with. And then it's okay, let's see. Could be cool, but I feel like we're gonna need to do something else to give it what I want. Maybe like a frequency shift of something, maybe even the jungle stuff. If we grabbed a frequency shifter and then gave it like a little down up. Let's see what happens. If we do this. And then no. We're getting there, but it's the right idea, but we're gonna send this down and then come up with something else. And then we absolutely need to have it end. Maybe even do like a slowdown. Like in like a tape stop almost. Logic has the thing over here. I can tape stop it with where is it? Type, curve, fade out. No, slow down. So now it should frequency shift and yeah, that's cool. And then maybe it's gonna need like a little bit of reverb on it. Doesn't even matter. Like a long, just regular old thing here should work. A little thicker distance. Vintage. Let's see here. We're gonna automate it up. Let's grab the mix and send the Pro R mix up here at the end as we're approaching. Let's see what this sounds like. Getting there. We got the down, but we don't have the up yet. I wonder if we need another bar. I wonder if we do. We'll see. I'm going to move it over just for a second here. And we're going to need a crash. Where'd my did I delete addictive drums? I just want to crash. Just going to grab it from addictive drums because we'd already used it for the snare, but it looks like, oh yeah, no, it's still there. Do we have a crash? That'll work. But I just want the crash on a separate. So let's bounce it. Separate track crash. Cool. Let's put this back. And then we're going to do a little flip trick. So let's go ahead and grab this first. Let's just say that much. Half a bar. And let's bounce it out. The full mix. Yep. So we're gonna new projects, dug from scratch, samples that I did there, and we're gonna call it Flip Trick 1. Okay, now we're gonna pull it in, and we have a bounce of that half measure. That's what it looks like. What we're gonna do is solo it. Yep. Now let's reverse it. Let's EQ it. Let's grab split EQ, and let's solo the sustain. So we can just where is it again? I think I can solo just the sustain here. Wait, solo, here we go. So we've gotten rid of all the transients there by soloing the sustain. Now we're going to automate a reverb up. All right, here we go, reverb up. Okay. Now we're going to automate just a little delay. Yeah, let's go ahead, color copy. That'll work for this little ping pong. It's way too much. We're going for something much subtler here. Just a little bit up like this. Should do the trick. Let's put this before that. That's pretty sick. So now what we're gonna do is bounce this in place. And now we're going to shut all these plugins off and flip this back around, and we should have like a, I thought also we could frequency shift it up so that then it comes down. Well, let's just see how this sounds like it. See how this sounds if I do it like this, and I don't want that, so let's just give us a little fade. And, we might just use this part, but let's see here. Yeah, let's just use that part. This gives it kind of like a sucking in effect that like you kind of like feel like it's almost, yeah, you'll see how it sounds. I'm not sure it's there yet. It's not enough of a big moment yet. Getting there. How did that even happen? It kind of works, but kind of doesn't quite yet. And I'm wondering if it needs like maybe a reverse. There's not enough like impact when that drop hits. It's like too soft of a hit, and I wonder we move that off. Maybe. What if we pulled that off of just this here? No. Well, the problem is that it starts on a bass note and it doesn't have a kick on the one. I wonder if, just so this is the same, I'm not going to get confused. I wonder if for this first hit, we moved the kick. Hey, that's not half bad. Now we're getting somewhere. What if we did a little reverse kick into it? So let's just grab a kick. I mean, classic reverse kick, right? We got to do it sometimes. Everybody does it. But let's go ahead and give it. Actually, we might want it shorter than that, like a pretty short reverb. All right. Let's see how this goes. All right, we don't need this anymore. We got a reverse kick. And we'll see how that transient sounds. That might be a problem. Maybe we just want the mid-range of it. It's almost just like a noise thing now, huh? Well, that's okay. Let's give it a little fade. I don't like that, like, clicky. Wish it was a little snappier, huh? What if we pitched it up an octave? Oh, it won't let me keep it in reverse if it's pitched up, so let's just bounce it out and then reverse it. Pretty late, huh? That little snap might actually help us. Not too bad. I think we're going to have more impact for this hit if we have less lows leading up to it. Yep. All right, let's see how it sounds. Let's see about this crash. Let's give this crash some more highs. I want to crash with a little less of that, a little more of this. What if we did another cluster delay here with like a faster dotted 16th, and we just brought it up to give us a little bit more of that like textury sound, and like maybe keeping that going could be good. Let's see. You know what? No. What if it was like more of like a dub delay? Oh, actually, pretty cool, but it could be wider. So let's spread it. All right. Not bad, but I don't want to lose so much of this high end. So let's crank that and make it a little thinner. Okay, let's see how that plays out. What's going on? I don't know why that's acting like that. That's very strange. Huh, this got moved. Maybe it was there on purpose. Still needs a bit more release now anyway. I actually kind of like it having it come in a little late, but the timing wasn't quite working before. Yeah, because that leaves the 303 to hit right there. We're getting somewhere. This might still need some more work, but it kind of shows you some of the things that I tend to do in my arrangements to sort of, build up the first drop, and how like pretty much everything here was made from or is in, except for this jungle ambiance. Everything from this intro is part of this drop in some way. And before we go, it might be fun to just see if one of my basses from my new pack, sounds better than this current one. So let's just turn this off for a sec and grab Vital. We might have to adjust the level, but let's go down to sub pressure. Not bad. It's a little subby, some of them. It depends on what key you're in. Some of these, you might have to adjust your high pass filter to get the right amount of sub, but this is pretty much plug them into your project. So at the moment, some of the basses with a little more upper harmonics are just working a little better. Because there's a lot going on right now with the Skank, the Vital Pad, and this. So maybe we want to choose one that has a little bit more harmonics, but maybe we just need to massage the mix a little bit too. I kind of like this square bass. Just to fit it in the mix here. I don't know. We could keep playing around with it, but we've been going for an hour and a half now, and we got an intro, and we've got a solid start on a new dub track here, Psydub track. It's definitely more Psy than it was before, but we will keep working on Psying this thing up. Cool. I don't know why I just did that, but thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I'm going to sign off here. Head over to my Patreon, become a free member, and download some of this stuff. Thank you so much for joining me and following along. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and until next time, I will catch you later.